Hey, this is me, Zedgy. What's up? Got some nuggets want to share today on what I've learned from my mentor 2.5 decades. And I've learned that from many other mentors. And one of the things that one of my mentors said is, because I worked a job as a systems analyst for the federal government, got to the ceiling. The only time I can make more money on an annual basis is by doing overtime. So that's all I knew. So I did overtime, extra time, all the time. So when you're doing overtime, extra time all the time, that means you're working Saturdays and Sundays. Yeah, in my mind it was time and a half on Saturdays and double time on Sundays. And anytime you went over 40 hours with the federal government, you were already automatically on time and a half. I did that for a number of years consecutively, thinking that I was beating the system, thinking that I'm getting over on them, and had nothing to show for it. I was exhausted because I had no time. At the time, I had a son, couldn't spend time with him. Or the only time when I was able to spend time with him is by taking him to work with me, because I worked by myself. I didn't have a supervisor or anything, because I'm very sufficient, very efficient, and trustworthy. So I could go to work anytime. I get my work done. I'll throw Corey in the back seat, strap him up, and we go to work. But then I met a mentor, because I always prayed that one day, and that one day came. It didn't come the way I thought it would come. And this gentleman shared with me, because he was very successful, extremely successful in all areas of life, spiritually, mentally, physically, professionally, and financially. That's when I really understood what success means. I thought it was just money. And we started to talk, and I was asking him, what he did, how he did it. Because what this guy made every 30 days, I made it every year. Okay, what I made every year with overtime, extra time, all the time, this gentleman made it every 30 days, and I just couldn't understand it. Not to mention to put hot sauce on the wound. This gentleman was much younger than I was. I mean, much younger, and you can see he had confidence, he had charisma, he was focused, he was disciplined, and a fun guy to be around. So I had the opportunity to talk to him a couple of minutes. And, he asked me a couple of questions, what I did for a living, if I was the best at what I did. And of course, I put my chest up, I'm the best. And he asked me, he said, are you financially secure? And when he said that, financially secure, again, I never heard that word before, that phrase before. I heard of financial success. I heard being financially free. Still was far-fetched from my head, because no one taught me those things. We hear words and we take those words and we assume it. So I assumed it meant certain things. I just bottom line wanted to be rich. You ever want to be rich? I just flat out wanted to be rich. So I figured if I worked hard, because my dad said work hard. If I work hard, I become rich. So I said, I was baffled when he said, are you financially secure? He said, Carl, do you have financial security for you and your son and your future? One other thing he told me, he said, if you lost your job right now, you got laid off. He said, would you have to go look for another job immediately? And I said, well, yeah. He said, so that means you don't have no money saved. You don't have at least 2 to 3 years of living expenses money put away, or emergency fund. Never heard that. So you share with me, and I share this guys with you because it changed my life forever. I got tainted with this, and I never recovered from it ever since then. And ever since then, I've never been broke. So he said, if you want to get by, you get a job, right? He said, if you want to get by, pay the bills, make sure you're getting paid bills on time, a roof over your head, paying the rent, and having some food in the refrigerator. He said, that's a job. That's getting by. He said, if you want to get by, you get a job. J-O-B, just on bills. J-O-B. He said, J-O-B stands for just on bills. And I wondered, whoa, I never thought of a job like that. J-O-B, just on bills. He said, if you notice, your job pays you just enough to pay the bills. He said, is anyone at your job at the EPA, even your boss, are they rich? You had to go away on vacation, 2 or 3 weeks vacation, but guess what? They got to come back, right? When they come back, they're hustling, because they probably overspend on the vacation or whatnot. He said a job is not designed for people that for financial security. is just to paying the bills. He said, but if you want financial freedom, if you want financial security for you and your family and your future, he said, you get into an industry. He said, you get into an industry that has a product or service that everyone has to use. Let me say it again. He said, you get into an industry, align yourself with a company that's in an industry that has a product or a service that everyone has to use. I said, and if you go to work, he said, if you go to work at it, you become financially free. You're able to create financial security. Why? Because this product or service that everyone needs, that means there's not going to be hard for you to find any customers. These customers are going to always use the product or services. There's going to be repeated sales because the service or product that everyone has to use. Man, that changed my life. First, it took me for a loop. I just couldn't understand it. My mindset wasn't there as yet. I wasn't personally growing. But over the years, as I hung around with that champion, that eagle, that successful champion, that cleaner, as I hung around more around him, I saw what he was talking about. And that's why I saw he was at ease, because at the time, he had a service that everyone used. He had a service that everyone needs. He had a service that everyone has to use, even myself. And that changed my life forever. So I'm giving you this from the bottom of my heart. A job is just on bills. And that's what college is all about. A lot of college students comes out of college. Yes, they got a degree to get a job. And they come out with a degree. They have no experience. They got to go get a job. Right? And they have debt. They have 60, 70, 80, 90,000 $1,000 worth of debt, student loans, along with other stuff. Right? If you get into an industry that has a product or a service that everyone uses, you become financially secured. And he said you do your best at it. You find a mentor, a trusted counselor, and you should do exactly what they're doing. R&D, rip off and duplicate, and M&D, model and duplicate, and you will become financially secured. And you'll never work the next day in your life for money, because you're working towards financial security. And every work that I've done thus far, I've never felt as though I'm working a job. I'm never tired of doing it. I've never demotivated from doing it. I can't wake up the next day to go about it again. I'm upset when I got to go to bed because I get it. And from that point, my mindset expanded, never to go back again. And I've helped thousands of others do it, creating 60 millionaires. So again, you find an industry and you align yourself with that company, or you start a business in that industry. Well, that's going to be much harder, especially for a lot of us who don't have money or now getting started. So you find yourself at a company that's in an industry that has a product or service that everyone has to use, and you do your best at it. You learn everything you need to learn, and you work with high morals and ethics, and you will build wealth spiritually, mentally, physically, professionally, and financially. I hope you apply it. Play to win, expect to win, because you're winning, you're a champion, you're the best of the best, and you got what it takes, and you're blessed with the Holy Spirit. But more importantly, I challenge you to outperform yesterday, today. Yes!